so glad you are with us on WHAS 11. It is 3 o'clock. The church bells ringing here in French Lick. The chime of 3. Hello, everyone. I'm Doug Proffitt, along with Chief Meteorologist Ben Pine and Meteorologist Christina San Juan. We are going to take you right through the clips. Look at that countdown.
Yep.
3 minutes and going on 45 seconds. The lighting is different. No more commercials until we're through with the eclipse.
We're starting to see those shadows lengthen, right? You could even see it in that shot.
The temperature. Let's show them the temperature,
That's
Christina.
True. We've gone down a couple of degrees, and of course it will start to bottom out.
So when we last showed folks the thermometer, it was
up around 80. That's about probably several degrees cooler.
Hold that steady. So it's now gone.
It has gone down a few degrees. We have a nice little breeze coming in.
I can't wait.
Really pleasant right now.
Yeah. It was a little humid in here.
It certainly was, and actually the humidity is going to go up while the temperature goes down. That's because the temperature gets closer to the dew point.
What we were seeing here in French Lick is about 99% coverage. That's what they're going to see outside of Totality is what we're seeing
So in Louisville, basically, is what we're seeing right now.
Yeah. This is still considered partial, but look at that. We are almost there.
Just a little sliver of the sun left.
And French Lick turned out to be one of the best places in America to be. It's also the reason why we're here. It's also the closest to Louisville that you can see Totality.
I think a lot of folks changed their plans last minute to come here once we got kind of ironed out those forecast details.
And for just a few minutes from here in French Lick, 304 to 307 is the only time it's safe to take off the glasses.
Everybody's
in
looking
Totality.
up.
To describe the...
It feels so weird.
I mean, we now just had a big temperature drop there.
It's bright, but it's not out here. It's kind of like we're approaching dusk, I would say.
The wind has picked up. So that's another thing, is that the weather does change. The humidity not only drops, but the wind picks up as this is happening.
That.
We could hear crickets start to chirp once it's completely dark. Dogs likely stop barking, go into their shelter. It's just an insane atmosphere. And I've heard it described a bunch of different ways. Euphoric, otherworldly.
We've got people hanging they're right up along the rooftops of the buildings down here. You've got a 3-story building here next to the park. Our Nathan Fessel is getting a view of that for you right now.
And it doesn't feel like a sunset. There's a total different feeling when you're in the Totality.
So everybody is waiting for the curtain to go up on the big show.
Look at these shadows from the trees,
Now, there's the rooftop of the building I was referring to. And everybody's been up there. They have been baking on the top of that roof since we went on the air.
Look at everybody's shadows over here that are
degrees.
watching it. They're in the shadows in the trees, getting longer and longer.
It's very, very strange. That's for sure.
I'm most excited, Ben. Okay, we're getting ready to go under a minute, guys. There we go. We're under the 1 minute mark here on WHAS 11. You are watching the Great American Eclipses. It's getting ready to begin. This is still considered the partial eclipse. I think at 30 seconds to go, Ben, we're going to take our headsets off just briefly and put our glasses on.
I'm holding them up right here.
You're holding them up now.
A tiny little sliver. That's all we can see right now.
Okay, so the suns, the coronas, what everybody is fascinated to see.
Left. Because we never get to see the corona
on
a normal sunny day.
The sun's magnetic field. Okay, here we go.
Perfect total eclipse
here we go.
To happen here. Just a few seconds left for us here in French Lick, Indiana.
Here we go.
What we've been waiting on, many people, for well over a year. Look at that. It
starting to hear the crowd get really excited.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
Welcome to the total solar eclipse in French Lick, Indiana.
Look behind you there.
Look at the view on our screen, Ben, Christina. That's amazing.
That is wild.
Even more incredible.
You can see the stars and the planets.
Okay, now we can take our glasses off safely.
Glasses off.
Look at the lower part of the. It's coming through the one of the craters.
The Bailey's beads, a little bit of that action too.
We are seeing Venus to the
see
lower
that bright
right.
Spot.
So we've got 3 minutes. We've got 3 minutes and 5 seconds to watch this safely.
I'm just kind of blocking out our studio lights. Look at that. That's some of the topography on the moon that's allowing just a little bit more light here and there.
And we have a clear sky. None of the jets are flying over. We don't see any of those. I'm looking for Comet 12P.
There is a jet bottom right.
Oh, isn't that Venus?
Well,
oh, no, there you go. There is a jet flying through, the tourism jets. Christina, where's Comet 12P? I want to see it.
We're going to need binoculars and telescopes for that, but at least we can see a planet with the naked eye.
Well, that's incredible.
The clouds are staying to our north and to our south.
Sun's magnetic field more active than it was 11 years ago, more active than it was in 2017 for Hopkinsville. We're really seeing that corona on display.
Look how bright it looks.
Yeah, that corona is amazing. Look at that.
On a normal sunny day, you cannot see the coronas because it's much more dim
than
the sun's faces.
So those were the Bailey's beads popping out around there, and that's because they were the sunlight was popping through the craters and the valleys that are on the moon, because the moon's like a punching bag; it gets hit a lot with stuff.
Yeah. I'm hearing a lot of oohs and ahs still from the crowd.
That is crazy.
I know my wife over here is crying. She's crying.
It's such a unique experience.
Some folks call this a spiritual impact on them.
We have a few bugs that are flying around us now. A wasp just landed on Doug.
Oh, thank you for removing that wasp.
I scared it away.
I love the cheering. It's almost as if we're watching a show somewhere, like at the Kentucky Center for the Arts. Everybody's applauding at different points.
The corona is amazing. That's just something that obviously you can't see unless this is happening. It's not going to happen for 20 more years. So I hope everybody is really committing this to their permanent memory. It's something you don't see very often.
And we'd have to travel so far.
Yeah. 2044 in August is when that'll happen again. And we have just been amazed with what happened here with the weather. At first we thought we'd have some high, thin clouds. That did not happen. Take a look. You're looking at the crowd here. They're all looking up. What I love about this event is all across America right now, 15 different states in the path of the total darkness. Everybody's doing the same. They've all come together, all walks of life.
Something to bring everybody together.
In the world we live in right now.
Oh,
okay, look at this. Look at this.
Starting to break out.
That's starting to break out. So now we got to go back.
Glass is back on.
You mean it's been 3 minutes? No, don't go away.
Now you're going to see the example of how powerful our sun is. The star in the middle of our solar system is about to brighten the day once again with just a little bit of a sliver of that solar power.
And if you take your eyes off of the sun, take off your glasses, you can start to see the daylight very slowly returning here. Still seeing lots of shadows, but it's a very eerie look.
Christina, you've been doing eclipse stories for us for months now. I'm sure it was in your mind worth it, but has this exceeded what all the predictions would be?
It's absolutely been worth all of the work, all of the fun interviews, all the stuff that I've learned the past year leading up to this moment. Absolutely 100%
Could you imagine if it was a cloudy day? We would not have this experience. The weather turned out perfect for the Path of Totality in the WHAS 11 viewing area. What a treat for all the folks that have, taken the weekend and made plans to go where they needed to go.
Schools, of course, letting the day off for the children to come out here and experience it as well.
The celestial dance in the sky is now over. It was something that it went by way too fast. There's no way there was 3 minutes and 5 seconds.
Now
there.
You can keep the glasses for another hour or so. We've got till 4:22 where we can still enjoy the partial eclipse.
If only we could just freeze time.
But now everybody's moving. There's people going down the sidewalks, heading back to the food vendor trucks.
Or perhaps trying to beat traffic as well.
We still have the birds in the tree. Maybe they'll start flying away and getting back to
talk about
finding their worms.
Listen, that was a short nap.
Yeah. Right.
What do people do?
Why is the sun coming back
out? What day is it?
So the studies that they have been doing for that very moment include not only studying the sun and the corona, but also how the weather changed. And so what's our temperature, Christina? Let's pick that back up.
We're at least down to about 68 degrees right now from about 80, 81 we were sitting at earlier.
That's right.
Pretty well.
Yeah,
65, actually.
Yeah, we dropped pretty well. Not as big
we'll go ahead and show it.
Not as big as the drop that happened in Western Kentucky.
But you can almost imagine the energy of the sun when you had the corona, spilling out of the sides of the eclipse, and those CMEs, those corona mass ejections, that can influence the magnetic feel here on Earth. But it is just a wonderful experience. Where do we go for the temperature down to 70?
We went down to about 65.
65, so about 15 degrees cooler, yeah.
Well, you know what?
Felt perfect.
I'm proud of you
nice.
all because I said, I wonder who's the first person that's going to say wow and how many times they say wow.
I had to bite my tongue.
I didn't
really
hear one wow. Good job,
did.
Christina.
Hey,
But it was a wow.
I do want to give props to Christina again because she's been our expert for over a year now. I mean, doing all these stories.
I've learned a lot, though. I've gotten to do really cool things. I mean, how often do you get to interview a retired NASA astronaut that saw a total solar eclipse from space? So he saw the other side of a solar eclipse.
The couple that I read about getting married in Indianapolis, they just did it, or they're getting ready to do it because I guess it's moving up there.
They should be in Totality at 3:06. So it should be ending for
They
them.
got 3 minutes to say their vows.
They tied. Oh, that's some speed reading. I'll tell you that. That's a lot of pressure.
But what a memorable wedding that would be, of course. Yeah, we've got folks that are kind of getting back to business. They saw the Totality here for several minutes, just like we did, and something we'll all never forget.
Everybody's got their cameras, their own little filters up there, and we had many people here who came up, some from Jeffersonville, others from Louisville. The kids are out of school. There were a lot of businesses that closed today for Eclipse Day.
And I told my kids, just take the time to drive 15 minutes to Pekin or Paoli, and you'll be in Totality. It's not as long. You may only have a minute or two, but that's worth it.
It's worth it.
And if they didn't do it, they're in trouble when I get home.
You hear that, Hannah?
There you go. So we're going to continue with our coverage. Again, we're on the air with you till 6:30. We're going to get reaction from our crews in different parts of the community that got to see this great American eclipse right here on WHAS 11.